This is the combined chapters of 7 and 9, The Industrial Revolution. Discussion number 5, City Life. Remember how we talked about how people lived in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. You remember we painted a very bleak picture as to the amenities of the way that people lived in their homes and in the cities. And so as we progressed into the Industrial Revolution, we see that it's not only business that's improving, but also the standard of living. With observation and experimentation, the discovery of germ theory helped people realize that microbes transmitted diseases from person to person, and if we kept clean and if we kept the refuse away from us, that would help protect us against many of the diseases that would run roughshod through cities and get thousands of people sick and or dead. The installation of sewers and water lines, the idea of better hospital care with antiseptics and keeping a clean area did a lot to combat the amount of deadly diseases of urban life. Joseph Lister is the one who actually linked the existence of microbes to the causing of diseases and infections. Robert Koch was very famous when he discovered the cause of tuberculosis and how that was spread. But on the other hand, urban life became somewhat of a thing that people wanted to gravitate to with the creation of electricity. It used to be that when the sun went down, the town was done. Uh, Unless you had a severe emergency to get out to the outhouse, there really wasn't anything to do at night. With the advent of electricity, with predictable lighting in the evenings, made things a lot safer at nighttime and more conducive to civilization and going to the theater and things of that nature were possible with electric lights. Now, while the city life improved, there were areas in the city where not all of these newfangled ideas of culture and electricity and keeping the streets clean made it here. And lots of places were left behind that they didn't get the water, they didn't get the sewer, they didn't get the nice streets, and that's what we call now the slums. So, but with better construction materials, taller buildings were able to be built without having them being toppling over. Uh, the invention of the elevator actually made very tall buildings even more capable of being built because do you really want to walk up 60 flights of stairs to get to your room or take the elevator? That's what another reason why tall buildings were able to be built with the creation of the elevator. And there were efforts to improve city environments called urban renewal. They became entertainment centers for sport teams or the theater or music, or this is where people would go to have a good evening out on the town or in the city. People in the rural country areas, going to town was a big thrill to see all the neat and different things that were going on there. Um, but again, cities were the combination of a whole bunch of people living together, most of them working class people working at the factories that had been built by the industrialists. And a lot of these working class groups would form what was called mutual aid societies to help out members of the groups that was having a bad spell, whether it be from disease or an injury on the job or in some other way that the group would help them out. And a lot of time these mutual aid societies became those unions that Robert Owen was looking for, that people would work together not just to help each other out on an individual level, but to help each other out as a group to deal with employers to get those concessions, whether it be they consider a higher pay or better working conditions or better hours. All of that would be part of the process. And so unions and the Industrial Revolution really come up together, and it's how they deal with each other that's going to pretty much push on through a lot of the history that we're going to see as the working class is dealing with their working conditions with the industrial owners. This concludes discussion number 5, City Life, as part of the combined chapters of 7 and 9, The Industrial Revolution.